5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglosh of the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. There we go. And we'll give you some Snoop Dogg.
Say, baby, look, let me tell you something. See, first thing, you can't be calling on my cell phone. Second thing is you can't be...
No, baby, it's me, Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny?
Bad Bunny.
Where you at, player?
No, it's not playa, it's playa.
Playa.
I'm from Long Beach, player. I know the playa.
I'm from Long Beach.
Anyway, how you living, Bunny?
Esta es la buena vida, baby.
You know, I didn't really realize that Comcast was doing a lot of mail. And this is from Brand United, and they're working really a lot harder to show us the brands that are working on mail. And so that's really cool. And not only that, but they are increasing the average revenue per user. Comcast surprised customers with free trials and other freebies in the mail. They had a stamped invitation size letter and envelope mailers, often featuring a gold Xfinity seal. That's their brand, Xfinity. And so, to get it opened, you can do a lot of creative stuff in mail. And what they were doing was, encouraging customers to upgrade or enhance at no immediate added cost. So they really are product sampling while the COVID-19 was taking hold. And so Comcast then switched more over to acquisition, partly directed toward college kids moving into the dorms and stuff, which makes a lot of sense. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. Summer, I always like Summer's article, says direct mail can be so much more than just a postcard with a call to action. Comcast is a great example. I could have shown you the mailing pieces, but I didn't. And so, we could have. And so, I'm going to bring up another presentation for the end here because I really want to show you. There we go. And I don't see it, so maybe we'll have to give up on it. Right? Okay, we don't have it handy, and it should be in here, but it isn't. So we'll give up and we'll just talk about it. What's the difference? This is where I want to focus a little bit. What's the difference between remarketing and retargeting? Okay, and I was going to bring up my bathtub model, and my bathtub model. Think of your customer database, your subscribers or whatever, as a big giant bathtub, like stadium-sized bathtub, and you pour all your customers in there, and there's a certain quantity of customers, right? And you shake it a little bit so that the heads don't stick up. And then that level, whatever that level is your the amount of customers you've got. And you can set a date on it like 0 to 12 month buyers or 0 to 24 month buyers. That's what, that's kind of old school recency, but it makes a lot of sense because then you can track, the up or down flow. Now, think of the faucet on the bathtub as as acquisition. Okay, so you've got acquisition. The more money you spend, hopefully with some sense, the more customers flow into the bathtub. And so you look at it a couple months later, and it should go up, and it usually does. I mean, if you're a growing company, but maybe it doesn't. And you say, hey, what's going on? We added 100,000 new customers. Where'd they go? Well, the answer is there's also a drain on the bathtub. And you got to keep that in mind. And in most applications of this, if they're not subscribers, cable is better. Cell phone is better. Term life was where this was created by Martin Baer in Lifetime Value, and he argued that the downstream payment value was predictable. It wasn't going to continue forever, but you could plot the curve of how it declined through time. And so, because of that, Martin was able to spend more on acquisition. And so, with a e-commerce company or a catalog company, we don't know when a customer's dead. I've said this many times that I like took a hiatus from Land's End for decades. And when I logged in again, my login was still good. They hadn't erased me, but they probably thought that I was dead and probably stopped mailing me. I wouldn't blame them for that. But yet I'm back again. This is a Land's End fleece, and I've got a shopping cart open, but I haven't bought it yet, and I'll probably be out of half of it by the time I get back there, because things are flying off the shelf these days in .coms and catalogers. Anyway, so in the drum there's this article, and I don't know how to pronounce his name, so we'll just give it up. Talking about remarketing versus retargeting. And the basic distinction he makes is that retargeting primarily uses paid ads to re-engage audiences who've merely visited your website or social profiles. Okay, so this is kind of a continuation of the acquisition, because you pay-per-click, they come, they bounce, you don't know who they are, and in most cases you have some rules about how much to retarget. If they looked at a particular product, that wouldn't be a bounce. But if they only stayed for seconds, you might not, waste your time on it. Amazon, I noticed, has scaled that back a bit, because I was looking for a spare part for my refrigerator last night, and they haven't retargeted me instantly, although I usually use private viewing. Anyway, so retargeting is that acquisition process and a continuation of that acquisition process, whereas remarketing primarily, and this is kind of sad, primarily uses email to re-engage past customers. Why is it sad? Because mail is, I think, far more effective. You already know these are past customers. They already bought from you, and so they are valuable. They've generated return on investment. They're profitable, or some of them are at least. Many of them have ordered many times. Email is a really poor way to encourage customer loyalty, as Comcast has found. The better way is to send something nice. It's going to get attention. Plus, it's going to give you the foundation for AI and machine learning to go forward. So there's two huge reasons why to use mail in your customer remarketing. Okay, we're going to call that remarketing. Whereas the retargeting, email is inexpensive. Now, if you have a high margin product, or you have a high, there's all kinds of reasons, high ticket product, then again, the retargeting is a low budget way to try to get somebody's attention again. And what you tend to do is beat them up with lots of retargeting in all kinds of places, and people wonder what's up with you. Like when we first went to Lovesac, which is a part of my case study that I talked about in the webinar, we visited it just to check out the website, and for a month at least we were retargeted with ads all over other websites. And in fact, my wife said, "Are they paying for these? Because they sure are overdoing it." And the big key to their growth was switching to mail, because they had a high ticket item, and it was much more engaging and interesting, and also clearly, provably drove more traffic to their retail stores, and that's what they were after. So when the author says that remarketing primarily uses email, what he's saying is that remarketing by definition is personally targeted. It targets an individual subscriber or past customer, and therefore can have a customized, personalized offer. That's what he's trying to say. But instead he's saying it uses email, because the .com world, that's all they know. It's very sad. So if you, again, another reason to test mail is just to elevate your customer interaction, to ensure that there's an engagement level, rather than just fling an email and saying, "Oh yeah, we got a 25% open rate." Whoopee. Mail will get way higher than 25% open rate. And we know they saw it, and we know a decision maker in the household saw it, not just anybody. So all of those reasons are great. And the author points out that PPC conversion rate is lower than 4%, whereas mail to customers is higher than 5%, oftentimes way higher, okay? 20, 30%. I've seen 100%, where we get more orders than we mailed out mailing pieces. I saw that with Cabela's in their catalog. That spawned their big, thick pro version catalog. And there was a good reason for that. We made so much money. So there's standard remarketing, showing ads to your past visitors. I'd call that retargeting. But, another option for your customer file is that you can take your customer list and upload it to Google or Facebook, and they promise, they don't, what can they assure you that they will show your ad to every one of those customers, and it can include personalization. So there's a lot of options. What's great about remarketing is that it actually drives overall customer value. And the higher your customer value, and this is what you learn from the bathtub model, when you actually build a bathtub model, the higher your level of customer value, the more you can afford to spend to get customers. So I always recommend, if you're on the ropes right now or in a recession, I always recommend it to companies. I've been through like 4. First, reach out to your customers, because you can elevate their value. And once you elevate that value, then you can justify the acquisition, which is exactly what Lovesac did, with then pouring more money into media once we had identified their key media pitch or whatever, the key benefit that customers reacted to. Then we could do more media. It wasn't me, they did that on their own. It was brilliant. Drive more traffic to the web, retarget with mail. Retarget, this is for prospects. But the remarketing was the laboratory. That was where we started. That's always the place to start when you need to make profits now. Well, I hope that gives you something to think about. I'm John Miglosh. Like and share. Your friends will know you're smart. Have a great day. We'll talk again. And I'll keep you posted on the podcast idea. Bye-bye.